SilentHeroFilms.com. Click the link below. Two of the best films you'll ever watch all year. The most pro-black film in the history of cinema. Checks and Balances. Click the link below. Win the first 5 hours of your day. Just got done with a workout. And I worked out the Neo non-fiction album. That dude's a hell of a writer, man. Hell of a writer. Had a chance to interview him once at a fight and in Vegas. I believe he's from Vegas. Migrated to Atlanta. Speaking of Atlanta, we'll get there in a second. You like how I created, see how writers create that symmetry to make it all interwoven together. Take notes to all the big titty community, man. All these podcasters and boxing, they got titties, man. Why y'all listening to men with titties, man? Anyways, man, I want to chime in and just bring some pragmatic, logistical truths to Devin Haney versus Adrien Broner. Now, outside of either of those two fighting Ryan Garcia, they got to fight each other, right? Devin Haney is coming off of an impressive win, 1, an impressive crowd, 2. They said he did below average pay-per-view numbers, 3. What does he have to improve upon? Pay-per-view numbers, right? His father wants that man in events. He don't want that man in the just fights. He wants to put his son, Devin Haney, Mr. Haney, wants to put young Lord Devin Haney in events. So let's pragmatically dissect the potentials of this fight versus other fights. Matchroom. You got a couple of opponents. You got Montana Love, who may have a post. I know he's lost a couple in a row. You have Richardson Hitcherson, who's about to fight. I don't know who he's fighting, but I just saw a flyer on Instagram this week. He doesn't bring a crowd. Outside of Brooklyn, I don't think he can draw a couple of thousand. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's what Matchroom has. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Now let's go over to Top Rank. Top Rank doesn't want him. You know why Top Rank doesn't want him? Because they signed his mandatory. It's cheaper to sign the mandatory. You guys got to understand business. Golden Boy just did it with Ohari Davis. They signed, they knew they couldn't sign the champion in Rolly to get the fight. So you know what the next best thing? They hired a mandatory. So Top Rank, and this is why you guys come to my platform, so I can just enlighten you on the realities of business. Business, undersell, over deliver, buy for cheap, sell for high. You know, Top Rank did the same thing with Devin Haney that they did, you know, because they knew that the Australian government was going to pay for the fight. So they bought Devin Haney low and made it high, made a lot of money off of it. You get what I'm saying? They paid them 2s and 3s, you know, and they probably got 5 back. It's business. Oscar De La Hoya has Ryan Garcia. He may have Jojo Diaz. He already beat Jojo Diaz. Ohari Davis doesn't have a pulse. PBC, Tank Davis. You guys got to understand something about Tank Davis. Al Heyman, from a business perspective, is about to open up a new venture. McDonald's doesn't open up a new franchise and not sell Big Macs, right? It's not by accident the NFL collaborated with Peacock, and it was the Kansas City Chiefs, which is their most prized possession, Patrick Mahomes and Taylor Swift. They opened up Peacock, and I don't know how many people bought the game, but you don't go into a new venture and not have your #1 seller. Whether it's Big Macs, whether it's Whoppers, whether it's Patrick Mahomes, Tank Davis isn't going anywhere, y'all. Y'all can talk about Tank Davis versus the world. It ain't happening, man. Al Heyman has to use Tank Davis to open. He's not going to Saudi Arabia. Okay, it sounds good. No. I heard March 30th. I heard Ness say March 30th. I didn't watch it, but I saw the title. I mean, saw his, whatever it is. So that's what's going to happen. He's going to stay with PBC and being led. He's going to follow Al Haney. March 30th, whatever that is, that's where he's going, okay? So Tank Davis is not fighting in Saudi Arabia. He's not fighting Devin Haney. And the reality is, y'all doing all this barking. Devin Haney got to go create something, y'all. They're going to box him out the same way they were going to box him out 4 years ago. Adrien Broner, Devin Haney should be in Atlanta. And the optics of it, he's going to have to hire a promoter. Not have to, he can do his own, but he's not putting up his money. So he's going to have to hire at least a company for the infrastructure to put on the fight, the logistics of the fight, right? So he'll probably go with Matchroom. Eddie Hearn and Don King on the same bill. Could be magic, you know? In Atlanta, Adrien Broner versus Devin Haney. They need each other. Adrien Broner won his last fight. Ups and downs, lefts and rights. You know how I've meticulously picked apart Adrien Broner. And you know how I've meticulously picked apart Devin Haney. All for the sake of truth. All for the sake of bettering people. All three of us live in mansions. All three of us are probably living our best lives. The only thing is I'm not in camp. I am the only one married though, you know what I mean? So outside of that, but you know what I'm saying? But the realities is they need each other. And it's the only event that Bill Haney can put on to elevate Devin Haney. Devin Haney has to be elevated. He can't fight Fabrice Matisse. I can't even pronounce the man's name. If I can't pronounce his name, he has no value. I can pronounce Beterbiev or Beterbiev, however you pronounce it. But I don't even know Sube. I can't even pronounce his name. That tells you the amount of cachet he has in the game. Yes, beautiful. You want a hug? My beautiful daughter wants her morning hug. Love you, beautiful. Say hey to the people. Love you. Go ahead, breakfast. Lincoln will. Lincoln got you. So, anyways, she always pulls up on me when I'm in the gym. Let me get my smoothie. The rest of y'all drinking coffee, smoking weed, drinking soda. Y'all probably drinking yak. I am arguably the most consistent man in boxing YouTube. Oh, well, you can be consistently bad too. You know what I mean? But, so where I'm at. So they need each other. Bill Haney can run around and promote. He's learned the art. He's learned the job on the fly. He's done a masterful job. You got Eddie Hearn, Don King. You got Kevin Cunningham, Bill Haney. You got a trainer who's done it the logistical way. Police officer, military man versus a man who's done it the unconventional way, the street way. And then you got Adrien Broner, Devin Haney. The optics are there. I'm not saying this fight was what it could be 3 years ago. I'm not simply saying that. They need each other. The reality is they need each other, man. They'll sell out. If Devin Haney sold out in Oakland, was it Oakland or San Francisco? Where's that stadium at? I think it's more like San Francisco. I don't know. Y'all tell me. If he sold out there, he's going to sell out in Atlanta. And if he sold 100,000 pay-per-views, if he sold 50,000 pay-per-views, it will at least double. Richardson doesn't double the pay-per-view, Devin Haney's pay-per-view market. Ryan Garcia is the only one, but Ryan Garcia ain't fighting nobody. Do we understand? All right. Ryan Garcia is basically the the whole of boxing. He gets manipulated and controlled by everybody he speaks with. He doesn't have a foundation. He doesn't have an anchor. He's basically a hoe on Figueroa. He's boxing hoe, man. He's like, he is. He's an Instagram model. You know what I mean? Floyd manipulates him. Oscar manipulates him. Canelo manipulates. He's just jumping. Derek James manipulates him. Everybody just, Earl Spence manipulated him out of 25K. Everybody just manipulates and controls Ryan Garcia. He's a pay-to-play guy. You know what I mean? So, but that's the reality of it, man. That's the only fight that makes sense for Devin Haney's name cachet. And if he doesn't make this fight, he is not, Al Heyman will not pay Devin Haney. Are we understood? You do not pay the ace high. That's the rival of your ace high. If they're not fighting each other. Al didn't do it for Terrence Crawford. Al didn't do it for Canelo. Remember, PBC was fighting under Golden Boy, so all y'all gonna say, oh, yes, you did. No, it was Oscar. They was all under Golden Boy umbrella. It never happens. You never saw Kell Brook fight a PBC fighter till he was a mandatory, right? You never saw, let's go the other way so y'all can, so the big titty community can understand. Big titty boxing community can understand. I like that. BTBC, big titty boxing community to understand. You never saw Bob Arum say, you know what? I'm going to raise Keith Thurman's profile. I just want him to fight on ESPN because I got an open fight day. You never saw Eddie Hearn say, you know what? Jerron Ennis, you don't have to sign with me. Just come over and let me fight. No. They're not in the business. The business is, I make my business bigger. I make your business smaller. It's about market shares. Do we understand what market shares are? No, y'all don't even know what market shares is. Do I got to do a drug analogy for the big titty boxing community? Do I have to do a drug analogy for you guys to understand the words coming out of my mouth? Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Y'all motherfuckers on Epstein Island, right? Allegedly with Chris Tucker. Let me omit that. On Epstein's airplanes. So, anyways, the fight makes sense. It's the only fight that raises Devin Haney profile. If you disagree with me, put it in the comment section. Until then, win the first 5 hours of your day. Big titty boxing community. I know you probably don't live with your daughter, so I'm about to go in there and go hang out with my daughter. But that's the realities of this thing, man. Y'all go ahead and have a great day. It makes sense. Throw the fight in Atlanta. You got people like, and you guys got to understand something too. You guys are going to watch the fight regardless. How can it convince your girlfriend's girlfriend to watch the fight? Think about that. I think Adrien Broner, Don King, I think that rings a bell. You know what I mean? And you know, Mike Tyson is a pay-for-play guy too. Don King, Mike Tyson, you know, it won't happen, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they'll bring out the Julio Cesar Chavez's, they'll bring out the, you know, all the bad things about Don King. They'll go interview Mike Tyson and say he robbed me. They'll go interview Bernard King and he'll say Don King robbed me. That's all the build-up. That's all it is. Y'all go ahead and have a great day. And it could possibly be Don King's last fight. Who wants to be a part of Don King's last big promotion? Y'all go ahead and have a great day. Tank Davis ain't fighting Devin Haney because McDonald's don't opens up a new branch, Prime, and not have Big Macs on the menu. Simply, that's their #1 seller, right? 20 billion burgers sold. How many billions they sold? They usually have it at the bottom. Y'all go ahead and have a great day, man. Peace.